Hello and welcome. My name's Dr. Sharon Skembry and I'm here today to talk about strategic marketing planning. I'm here to talk through what a strategic marketing plan looks like and how it's structured. I'm working from Farrell and Hartline text on strategic marketing, and the contents relate to chapter 2 today. All right, so let's get going. So in terms of the outline of the chapter, we start with the strategic planning process, then we look at the contents of a marketing plan, and we ensure to have that customer focus all the way through. So any strategic plan, including a strategic marketing plan, begins with a situation analysis. A situation analysis is an in-depth analysis of the macro environment, which is the external environment, and the internal environment. So, like, for example, what's the organization's strengths and weaknesses? So the situation analysis will be the front end of a strategic marketing plan. And this marketing plan is like the blueprint of the organization's intended marketing activities. So it's a roadmap of how to implement whatever marketing strategies have been decided. It also details who is responsible for whatever tasks and when those tasks need to be done or completed by, and whatever resources are required. So the strategic planning process begins at the corporate level. The corporation, as the overarching brand, such as Procter & Gamble or maybe Johnson & Johnson, right? A strategic analysis will be carried out at that corporate level. And at that corporate level, there'll be an identified corporate mission and identified corporate goals. From the corporate level, we go down into the business unit level. So, for example, for Johnson & Johnson, maybe the Tylenol product is an example of a business unit. Within that business unit, there will be a mission and goals specific to that business unit, and there'll also be organizational functions specific to that business unit, organizational functions such as marketing, such as production, finances, and human resources. Within each of those functions, there'll be a strategic plan that outlines these are the goals and this is the strategy, this is how we're going to make it happen. Okay, so what are we talking about when we're talking about an organizational mission and an organizational vision? Sometimes these things are confused, but they're actually quite distinct. A mission statement is about the here and now. What's our purpose? What are we here for? What's our reason for existence? So it's about the current, whereas the vision is more future oriented. And this is about where the organization wants to go, who they want to be in the vision, in the future. And so there's a bit of a stretch element to it. When we're devising a mission statement, or maybe when we're evaluating a competitor's mission statement, there's 5 basic elements that we need to recognize. The mission statement needs to identify who are we? So what's our purpose? Who are our customers? Who's our target market? What's our operating philosophy? What's our competitive advantage? And what's our responsibilities with regards to, for example, the environment? So mission statements are customer focused, and you can look at Tylenol's mission statement, for example, to see how they've evolved over time, but essentially they see themselves as leading over-the-counter pharmaceuticals for pain relief, right? Quite differently, Ben & Jerry's offers a 3-part mission statement, and I've captured it here for you. The 3-part mission statement of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, began in the 1970s, very much focused on a social mission about how they're going to make the world a better place. So when they began, that was above and beyond their product mission. It just so happened that their product was ice cream. And so part of their product mission is, of course, to make fantastic ice cream. In line with their product and social mission, they do see part of their purpose as sustainable financial growth. So strategic planning in terms of the process at the corporate level or the business unit level is about formulating a central plan, a plan that puts the organizational resources to work in an efficient and an effective manner. This plan is about how the organization, how the corporation or how the business unit is going to achieve their stated mission, how the organization or the business unit is going to achieve their desired goals and objectives. So the strategic planning process determines the nature and the future direction for each business unit within. It also leverages the firm's capabilities so that they have a competitive advantage, and it's all about bringing the customers on board with that intention. So it has to be recognisable in the marketplace. It's not just about what the organisation says, it's about how the market interprets. Within the strategic planning process, there has to be recognisable functional objectives. These objectives need to be expressed in measurable manner, and they need to be revisited and reconsidered in each planning period, typically a year, but might have to be more frequent than that if we're dealing with a highly volatile or dynamic marketplace. So the functional strategy integrates the organisational efforts on each of the strategic areas. So whatever stated goals are listed or appear in the strategic plan, then there has to be an integrated effort across the organisation, across the business unit, so that these goals are aligned, right? So integration, coordination and alignment. It's all very important to make sure that these goals are achieved. Okay, so each of the stated goals needs to fit with the purpose of the functional area. They need to be realistic in terms of what resources are available, and they need to be consistent with the stated mission statement. So there has to be an evaluation process to determine the effect of this functional strategy on sales and profitability, for example. Okay, so part of the planning process is, of course, implementation. So this is all about how do we put this plan, this roadmap, to work. We have to consider our stakeholders, both internally and externally, and we have to rely on those that hold responsibility within the organisation, such as our leadership team, our executive management, and the people on the shop floor. You know, these are the people that are going to make this thing work or not. So, of course, we have to keep those stakeholders happy. We have to identify their needs and deliver on their needs. Now, part of the strategic planning process is making sure that all of this planning and implementation is actually on track. So we need to monitor and control. We need to measure our activities to ensure that we're on target to reach our goals, because sometimes we have to tweak it to get back on track. Sometimes we have to tweak it when we recognize that we're off track. Okay, so again, there needs to be coordination amongst the functional areas, and communication needs to be open and often. Sometimes that's not an easy task across the functional areas. So evaluation and control serves as both an ending and a beginning, because you're measuring the implementation, but because you sometimes have to tweak it to get back on track, then that's a new chapter in itself. So this marketing plan, it's not a business plan. We've got a strategic plan, then we've got a business plan, then we've got the marketing plan, right? So the marketing is about one of the functions within an organization. So there'll be a marketing function, there'll be a finance function, there'll be a HR function, and each of these functional areas have their own plans, including the marketing function, right? So the qualities of a good marketing plan is that it's comprehensive, it's flexible, it's consistent, and it's logical. What it looks like is front, not necessarily front page, because front page might be title page, but then there's an executive summary, and the executive summary is a standalone, complete summary of the contents of the marketing plan. I should be able to read that executive summary and know exactly what's in the marketing plan. The executive summary will summarize each of the sections in the marketing plan. It's typically one page. After the executive summary, the front end of the marketing plan is that situation analysis of the external macro environment, analysis of the customer environment, analysis of the internal environment. Some people might know the SWOT analysis, and this is an internal analysis. The SWOT is a tool to conduct an internal analysis. SWOT is about strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of an organization. It's typically presented as a matrix, and it helps to identify what is an organization's competitive advantage and therefore what should be the strategic focus. Marketing goals and objectives are a list of objectives that state specifically what the intention is. Usually there's a measurable aspect to it. These goals and objectives need to be realistic, they need to be achievable, and typically will include a timeline. The marketing strategy itself is all about the direction that the overall marketing effort is designed to navigate. So it's an overarching intention, and the marketing strategy may well include a branding strategy, a product strategy, pricing strategy, distribution strategy, marketing communication strategy, including promotion, including social media. But driving that marketing strategy and in line with the mission statement, we want to have identified our target market. Now, sometimes there'll be a primary target market and that alone. Sometimes there'll be a primary and a secondary target market. So once we get past, here's the list of goals and objectives, here's our marketing strategy, we've identified our target, here's our branding strategy, our product strategy, our pricing strategy, our distribution strategy, our marketing communications strategy. Now we're up to the implementation part of the marketing plan. And in this section of the marketing plan is where you lay out, these are the tactics that we're going to achieve those various strategies. At the back end of the marketing plan is the evaluation and control, where you're monitoring whether or not the strategic intention is on track. Now, tips for using or formulating the marketing plan structure. You have to do your homework, right? And you have to revise and revisit and do it again and again, right? Because creativity is dynamic. We need to make sure that we're not being unrealistic. It has to be rational. It has to make sense. It has to make sense in terms of putting it to work, right? And when we're revisiting, we're as astute marketers and brand managers, you know, we're going to be using this plan. This roadmap is going to be helping us in our daily operational decisions. It's going to, the overarching strategy that's going to be identified in that marketing plan is going to help us make decisions on what to do when. The implementation plan at the back end of the marketing plan is going to be needed to updated regularly, because as we said, we're monitoring to make sure we're on track or off track, and we're tweaking in between. And so that takes communication in and around to make those things happen. So good marketing plans not only depict what's going on presently, but what's going on down the track. There's specified expected outcomes in this marketing plan. Specific actions are identified that should take place, and when those actions should take place, who's responsible for those actions, what resources are required to make these actions happen, and then what's going on with regards to the monitoring. So we need extensive communication within the team, and we need communication up the line so that the executive leadership team, the executive management knows exactly why we're investing X number of dollars in whatever tactic or strategy that we're implementing. We need support from the upper level. I have a bit of a giggle at this slide, because this is a graphic that shows you all the reasons why our marketing plans are going to fail. At the top of the list is communication. It's really easy to get caught up in the strategy and the demands, the operational demands of making those strategies happen, of implementing those identified tactics. We forget to talk to each other. And especially across locations, and if we're talking internationally, then we've got cultural complexities as well. Anyway, the list goes on. But the most important thing to keep front and center when we're formulating our strategic marketing plan, when we're designing and implementing, evaluating and controlling our marketing efforts, our strategic marketing efforts, we need to maintain a customer focus. So this emphasis on the customer as the central element of a strategic marketing plan has increased over time, and part of why that's happened is because the purpose of marketing as a task, as a function within the organization, has shifted from a transactional focus to a relational focus. And in making that shift, we're basically recognizing that marketing is about a people business. Marketing is about being close to what the customers are looking for and how to communicate with the customers. So even at the competitor level, there's been a shift away from competition and towards collaboration, which is all about ensuring that the customers, organizations are delivering what the customers are looking for, and the organizations are deliberately ensuring that they're in touch with what the customers' needs and wants are. So the customer focus is a long-term focus. It's a focus on value-added relationships. And of course, some organizations do a better job of this than others. So in other words, some organizations have a higher market orientation than others. Organizations with a high market orientation are very good at responding to market dynamics because they know where the market dynamics are moving. They're on top of it, they're in touch with it, and they're readying themselves before these market changes actually even take place. They're anticipating and they're being proactive. And effectively, by investing in customer orientation, the organisation is achieving a sustainable competitive advantage. So being customer focused, having a high market orientation is actually evident in the corporate culture, and it's evident in the corporate actions that give the organisation that competitive edge. So there you go. There is chapter 2 for you. Thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you again soon. We'll be talking through chapter 3. Okay, thanks very much, and I'll see you again.